If your hair is moisturized but still breaking, that tells me the moisture is not the problem, retention is. And to be honest, until you understand the difference, it doesn't matter what product you buy or how much money you spend on it, it's not gonna fix it. Nothing will fix it. And people say their hair isn't dry, they moisturize daily, they use oils, butters, and greases in their hair. That is not a combination. That's actually a really intense contradiction. This is a stress signal, a sign that your hair is giving you. Your hair can contain all of the water you want it to, but if the structure is compromised, the ends will still break. So, your hair is not alive in the sense of it being able to regenerate itself and things of that nature like the skin does. However, you have 3 layers to the human hair shaft. The hair is a fiber made up of primarily keratins, proteins, and all of these are arranged in layers. One layer is the cuticle. This is the outer protective layer. Next, we have the cortex. This is where the strength, the elasticity, and the moisture balance lives, in the cortex. And then we have the medulla. Sometimes you have a medulla. Everybody does not have one. According to cosmetic science research, Robbins, and physical human behavior of human hair, strength and breakage resistance comes from the cortex, not the outer layer of the hair shaft, the cuticle. You want to look at any of the studies that back what I'm saying, make sure you check the link in the description box below. Remember, this resistance in the elasticity, the strength of your hair is not coming from an excessive amount of moisture on top of the cuticle. It's a fact. Let's keep going. And this matters because moisture alone does not improve flexibility of the hair shaft. This is something that happens within the cortex layer, a place that your oils, your butters, and your creams never get to. So let's talk about why moisture does not prevent breakage. Now, water just makes hair more elastic up to a point. It breaks the hydrogen bond within the hair shaft. A study from 1997, I'm not about to try to say this name, it showed and it was proven that wet hair under tension is actually way more vulnerable than dry hair under tension. Again, check the study. But if the hair is moisturized, then repeatedly stretched, pulled, manipulated, or stressed at the ends, breakage can actually reverse, not decrease. This is why people say, oh my God, my hair feels so soft, but it's still breaking. That's why. Flash, stop it! Softness is not flexibility. That's something that a lot of people get confused. So let's talk about why ends break first. Well, for one, like we talked about in the last part, like we talked about in our last conversation, make sure you go to watch it if you haven't already. Your ends are the oldest, so they're the weakest and they're gonna break first. The most porous, the most weathered, and the least protected from out of your whole hair shaft. According to fiber fatigue research, repeated low-level stress on the hair shaft, the hair's fiber, it ends up causing micro fractures on the hair shaft. Fractures in keratin fibers. This is why you may retain length. This is why your hair will grow, but you can't retain length. This is why everybody's so scared of combs and brushes, because all of the different things and patterns that you've been doing has been causing the fiber to begin to deteriorate. If you want a video on fiber fatigue, which is so important, make sure you say fiber fatigue in the chat or in the comments. When all of these fractures accumulate, the following things happen. But keep in mind, the reason that I say all the time, and I know people think I'm trying to be a smart ass, but I always say that everything works until it doesn't. We talk about micro fractures in the hair shaft. This is something that doesn't pop up overnight. You won't notice this overnight. If it's micro, it means that there's small itty bitty fractures that are happening over time throughout the hair shaft, and one day it becomes too much and you won't know where it'll be coming from, and you'll look at the product that you've been using last and you'll blame that, when in reality you've been causing micro fractures over your hair shaft for years. But I digress. Let's keep going. If you are experiencing that, right, the micro fractures, your hair Your ends will experience more friction, more tension, more manipulation, more exposure, and less natural lubrication. And where does this natural lubrication come from? The hair's follicle, the sebaceous gland that produces sebum. Let's keep going. When your hair is stressed, the ends fail first. This is not a coincidence, it's physics, it's how it works. Now, hair breaks more from mechanical damage, mechanical stress, than it does from the lack of moisture. Mechanical stress includes brushing at the wrong times, combing at the wrong times, detangling the wrong way, stretching in the wrong manner, styling tensions from really tight braids and ponytails, twists, and things of that nature, tools, repeated uncontrollable suction and airflow, and over manipulation while the hair is wet. Studies in the Journal of Cosmetic Science, so it shows that if you this study showed that if you lower the level of tension that you're using on the hair shaft when your hair is in its weakest form, or if you're not using combs and brushes in the wrong way, you reduce the levels of breakage and damage and micro rips and tears to the hair shaft, even when using heat. If it's done properly, there's no damage, but if you're not doing it right, there is. Most people think that just because they deducted heat, or they don't use heat, they don't use blow dryers and things of that nature, that their hair is healthy. But the reality is, low heat does not cancel out high tension. A lot of people say things like, I don't comb my hair because I break it off. Anytime I comb my hair, it breaks. But that's not the full truth. Combing your hair does not break it, but combing your hair the wrong way does. Hear me out. Don't get mad. Drink some milk. Hair breaks when it's combed roughly, combed when it's at its weakest, which is when it's wet, or combed after it's been left to mat for days without structure. Here's what actually causes hair breakage. Number one, combing hair when it's at its weakest state. Hair is weakest when it's very, very dry and brittle, or when it is at its weakest state, which is when the hydrogen bond is broken and the hair is wet. So the key to having moisturized hair, or the key to having the perfect detangling process, is to make sure that there is an even balance. Combing aggressively in either state is going to cause excessive damage and breakage. It will increase stress to the fiber that is your hair shaft. So this isn't a comb or brush problem. This is a timing problem. Our timing is off. We're not combing our hair our hair at its best time. And we don't have the right time frame in which we should. Letting hair mat for days at a time and then combing it all out at once. When hair is left to just sit on top of your head for days at a time without combing, without proper resectioning, gentle maintenance, or some type of supportive routine, your hair begins to interlock and mat, especially if it's curly. There's nothing wrong with having locks, but if you don't want locks, you should comb your hair every day. So when you finally do comb your hair, you're not even combing it. You're forcing a separation, and a violent separation through resistance on your hair shaft. Fibers that have been allowed to just do whatever they want to do with no structure, and all you can do is use resistance to separate them. That resistance is what caused the breakage, not the comb or the brush. We are misplacing the blame. So some people won't like this, but inconsistent maintenance is what ends up increasing the tension and resistant load whenever you're detangling your hair. Your lack of a proper routine is the reason that you're losing so much hair during the detangling process. Why allow the hair to get matted and tangled in the first place? So hair that is left sitting and left to tangle and then aggressively detangled over and over again. This is a hair shaft that is going to experience a way higher mechanical load than a hair shaft that's simply stuck to a routine that looks like hair that's lightly detangled regularly, really gently maintained, and kept in a controlled and controllable state, not just left to just do what it wants to do. From a fiber science perspective, fewer high stress events are gonna cause way less damage than extreme stress to the hair's fiber. So the less tension you put on it, the less raking through you do to it, the better it'll be. The routine and the pattern is everything. So to be honest, and a lot of people won't like this, but avoiding combing and brushing the hair altogether does not avoid breakage or damage. It actually does the exact opposite. Avoiding actual structures and routines is what increases breakage, not combing your hair. Hair needs gentle separation, controlled detangling, and consistent maintenance, not neglect followed by force. That's the problem. You'll go a long time without combing your hair and then be so irritated that you have to comb it, and you're yanking and forcing the comb through your hair, and then like, oh my god, my hair broke off, the comb broke my hair. No babe, you did. So let's talk about why routines matter way more than hair products do. Products cannot override excessive manipulation, matted sections, infrequent detangling, high tension handling, and lack of recovery time. You cannot moisturize your way out of structure fatigue of that hair fiber. All of these micro fractures that you've been causing over the years, I don't care how expensive the moisturizer is, it will not fix it. This is why people feel like, oh my god, the product was working, but then it just stopped working. It's not working anymore. Or like your hair suddenly changed all of a sudden, or your ends all of a sudden won't respond the way that they used to. Your hair has not become stubborn, it's become tired of fighting against the things that you are causing. So let's talk about dry hair versus stressed hair, because there's a very big difference. Dry hair lacks water. Dry hair lacks water, but stressed hair lacks structural resilience. The elasticity is down, everything's down because the oxygen flow is cut off by all of these products. Your hair is always wet. Your hair is just sitting on top of your head. You can barely comb through it without spraying it down with water or products. Everything's out of whack. You can have moist hair, shiny hair, wet hair, super duper glistening hair, and still have weak ends, broken ends, poor length retention, and chronic breakage. At the same time, your hair is all silky and smooth. That resistance is what is causing the breakage, not the comb. Because the breakage is not a moisture issue, it's a load and weight issue. So let's talk about why adding more products actually make it worse, and why I think the layering method is one of the worst things that ever happened to us here on social media. Layering products increase friction, it increases buildup on the hair shaft and the scalp, it increases manipulation, and it mass damage temporarily. That's why everybody thinks their hair is healthy, because you don't actually know what your hair feels like because it's covered in products. And then you use co-washing conditioners and not real shampoo, so it's never removed. It's just layered on top of layer on top of layer. But the products are not going to reduce stress, it'll just cover up the problem. This is why breakage often is still continuing on and increasing even under all that smooth, silky, and softness, because they're two separate issues. One does not cancel out the other. So what actually reduces breakage? Breakage is reduced when tension is decreased, manipulation is minimized almost completely, detangling is gentle and consistent, styling more frequently is lowered, hair is allowed recovery time, and ends are properly protected, not with rubber bands and oil and grease and putty and stuff. Studies on fiber fatigue show that rest periods on the actual fiber of the hair shaft, it improves the durability of the hair fibers, the keratin fibers, over time. So chill. Hair needs recovery, not consistent intervention. This is not intervention. So let's talk about why length retention fails. Length retention fails when the breakage rate ends up exceeding your actual growth rate. So when your hair is breaking off way faster than it's growing. Your hair is always growing, but you won't stop doing all of these crazy styles to it, so your hair is breaking off faster than you're able to see the length that you're actually growing because you can't retain it. That's not a hair growth issue, that is a length retention issue. This is why you can use all the hair growth products in the world, they'll work, but if your patterns and your routines stay the same, you will never see hair growth the way that the gurus do. This is why I always start people off with a reset. This is why gurus start off with a reset. This is to reduce stress, to see how the hair and scalp respond before we try anything else. If your hair is super moisturized but still breaking and you're still having a bunch of hair in the comb, stop asking what to use next. You don't need to know what product you should add or try out next. Start asking the question, what stress needs to be removed? Because I can promise you your ends already know the answer. If you want to see a couple of the studies that I cited and a few more, then make sure you check the link in the description box below, because I have all of the studies linked there. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. And before we go, let's give a shout out to a couple of the gurus. I love you so much. Thank you for trusting me to help you get back in control of your everyday patterns and cycles, because all I'm doing is making you the guru, right? I am not trying to be like the know all be all. I want you to be in complete and total control of your hair and your hair growth cycle. So meet me over on my website and see what I have for you. There are so many different options. We have so many tiers, so many different levels. Don't get me wrong, I am not tone deaf. I understand that there are so many things happening, and that's why there are so many different things for you, right? I have a certain tier that's free, right, that goes in conjunction with the videos that I have here, so there'll just be a blog post to go with each video. But then there are tiers and levels up, and of course, if you want me to teach you things step by step, then you'll have to, you know, take a course. You can take one of my courses. You can take one of my courses. You can join one of our groups. All of the information is left in the description box below, and for a very select few, I have opened my books up, but this is not a regular hair appointment. These are clinical hair appointments. So if you're interested and you want to talk, or if you want to book a one-on-one consultation with me, then make sure you check the link in the description box below. All of my services are available through Sizzle, because I understand, yes, like some of my prices may be a little bit expensive for some people, and a lot of my services are put on payment plans. I have so many clients that have become clients of mine through using Sizzle over on my website, so you can do the same exact thing. All links left in the description box below. But again, let's check out some of the people who have taken me up on that offer, and let's see how their lives are different. If you are a guru who hasn't given me a review or that needs to send in some videos, make sure you do so. Link in the description box below or in the group. You know what to do. But I love you. Bye.
Sun is hitting my face, I'm unfazed, I need this. Calling out my name, say meet me, see these waves. Now I go under, hold my breath and flow. Trust the current takes me safe for sure. Now this is my remedy, let the seas sway with me. We're getting my energy, let the seas sway with me. My remedy, let the seas sway with me. Getting my energy, let the seas sway with me. I would try to hold on, treading water in this big storm now. sway with me, sway with me. My remedy, remedy. Let the sea sway with me, with me. Getting my energy, energy. Let the sea sway with me, sway with me. Feels like gravity can't touch me when I'm here. Look at me levitate, look at me levitate. Carry all this weight, but still I'm light as air. Now I go under, hold my breath and flow. Trust the current takes me safe for sure. No, I gotta go under, hold my breath and let it go. Trust the current takes me safe for sure. Now this is my remedy, remedy. Let the sea sway with me, with me. We're getting my energy, energy. Let the sea sway with me, sway with me. My remedy, remedy. Let the sea sway with me, with me. Getting my energy, energy. Let the sea sway with me, sway with me. Sway with me, sway with me.
Yeah, I'm tongue-tied, twisted around your finger like a piece of string. I'm winded, chasing after your ghost is real exhausting. I'm in love, but I don't think it's what I thought it was supposed to be. Love story, no guts and no glory. How did I get so dizzy thinking of you? I don't usually get like this. It's something about you I miss. Could it be we never had that kiss? Well, I don't usually get like this. 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 Reminded of how I met you, tried to catch you falling. Instead I fell off myself and I just can't stop falling. These wings